Folks, DG, the best in this YouTube thing, the most original. I'm back again. Thank you very much for returning. You obviously know real when you recognize it. So, yeah, Unai Emery. Now, I can't speak for everyone. I can only say my thing and speak for myself. But I believe in Unai Emery. I'm not here to say he's going to be Pep Guardiola. He's going to be the Messiah. He's going to win us champs and become invincibles. What I mean by that is we know it could have been let's keep it short. There's no need to go long-winded. We know it could have been. It's not perfect, but it could have been a lot worse considering how long Wenger's been here, and obviously the changes that need to happen in all levels at Arsenal. It could have been worse. We could have been in a worse position. We're not the best, like I said. There's still question marks, but the key words, it could have been worse. Key phrase. So shout out to Emery. What I like, he's a disciplinarian. He's not taking nonsense. I mean, he'll play you and things like that when he believes in you and it's warranted. Equally, if you're not pulling your weight, you're coming out. I like how he's not necessarily. Obviously, I think he's got favourites. I think Aubameyang. Well, he keeps changing between Aubameyang and Lacazette. Xhaka's definitely a favourite. Guendouzi is definitely a favourite. Torreira can be everyone's favourite. Obviously, he's got favourites in it, but more often than more managers, I don't think he's necessarily aligned with anyone. He can recognise the talent, but he's not necessarily got an allegiance to Mesut or Ramsey or anyone in fact, and that's a good thing because different games call for different personnels. I like a lot. I like a lot of what he's been doing, and I'll give the man time. But as we move on, we have to scrutinise him a bit more. And one thing I was debating with friends yesterday as well, and I don't know, like, I think Unai Emery is clearly an intelligent man when it comes to tactics. I'm not trying to get at him at all. He knows way more about football than I'll ever know, many more as well. He's a great tactician, of course, and he obviously understands a lot about football, but is he really, considering that Arsenal in 17 Premier League games, let me look at it to make sure it's right. We've not led in 17 Premier League games. We've gone into 13 at half time. Obviously, I'm referring to our first half and our issues with leading at half time. We've gone into 13 level. We've been behind in 4. Now, I'm pretty sure 2 of them have been Chelsea and City at the beginning of the season, so a bit of leeway. But is he really a tactical genius? If he, at the end of the day, I'm not forgiving the players because obviously the players have been playing well this season, but equally in games they haven't. And at the end of the day, Unai Emery can give them tactics and tell them how to play and all of these things. But he is the one. Yeah, he's quite simply. At the end of the day, he's not on the football pitch. They need to go out there and put the ball in the back of the net. That's how simple, essentially, football is. They need to go out there and do that. And they're not doing that. To which obviously the players have to hold their hands up. But if the manager is training them all week, if the manager is setting up the team, because again, same way I'm not criticising him for the end of the day not being able to put the ball in the back of the net himself, he's the one setting out the team, implementing the tactics week in, week out, telling them how to play, and he's the one choosing the team. So if he's consistently choosing the team and the tactics, and he's constantly changing it, does that mean does that, on one hand, it could mean he's good at, and he clearly is. His second half substitutions have helped us. He's clearly good at recognising when things aren't happening and reacting to that. He doesn't wait like previous managers to the 60th minute. But equally, are you really that, again, I believe in him, but to play devil's advocate, are you really that good of a tactician, or are you doing things completely right, or are we overpraising you if you're consistently, like I said, he's had to make 15 changes at halftime. If you've had to do that, is there something wrong with your approach to people you're playing? And I think there is to a degree. Not all games, I'm not saying all games, sometimes things haven't been happening and we've needed changes, but clearly there's something in regards to Unai Emery's either the lineup, decision making, whatever he's doing. Because if you're as a manager having to change it so many times, surely something's wrong. Again, I haven't got the stats to back it, but I'm not sure how many times. Obviously, injuries prevented it, but how many times has he laid a consistent team? I'm not saying you have to play the same team week in, week out, because different games equally call for different measures. But you look at some of the personnel that have been starting, it's been poor. Obviously, he's had to. I personally, I think he's known how poor the side is, but he's really realising in the last couple of games how poor they are. We've been stretched defensively. He's been playing people all over in positions like this. Isn't you can't. There's certain things in the Prem you can't really get away with consistently. You can get away with playing the likes of Xhaka, Ben Davis, Monreal, not just Spurs and Arsenal, many couple other clubs. You can get away with playing them out of position from time to time. But you can't go out in some games and play Xhaka centre half, a fullback that's a midfielder by trades, a winger and a midfielder at that, playing at right back. You can't do certain things. Like surely something is wrong with Unai Emery's approach, or he has to change in that regards. Like I said, with the way we've been playing, a lot of praise for Unai Emery. If I was to draw criticisms at anyone, he'd be the least one I'm critiquing. But as someone that loves my club and looks at it fairly, For as much as we give the players, I have to. I'm not questioning his illogical ability, but I have to question it. Surely is something wrong with the approach. Yes, I praise you for changing subs after half time and giving these guys the tactics, but surely something's wrong. Something's wrong. I can't be bugging people. Think about it. If I'm managing a Sunday League team and I'm a good manager, they rate me, they respect me, this, that, and the third. But if I'm constantly having to take off little Charlie and Bobby at half time and bring on Simon and these things, or next game take off Simon and do something and change the formation, go from a 4 at the back to a 3 at the back, or a 3 at the back to a 4 at the back, am I doing something wrong? Surely there's a degree, if we're constantly finding ourselves being behind at halftime or not necessarily leading. Again, a lot of that has to do with the players and their approach and smelling blood. But surely there's something with the manager's tactics or implementation of his tactics or his message and stuff like that. I don't know because I'm not in the change rooms. I'm just simply a fan speculating. Again, I'm not critiquing him. I'm just asking the question and more or less playing devil's advocate. On that note, I've said a lot, man. I really have nothing more to add. So, yeah, people, I'd love if you get in the comments, subscribe, and do the rest and give me your thoughts because I know this must have been playing on some of you lot's brains as well. But, yeah, man, until the next talking point, people, I'm out. What can I say? Thank you for watching consistently. And as we approach the end of the year, all I can do is extend my gratitude to you lot, man. Without you lot, I'm essentially nothing. So, on that note, people, DG, stay blessed, stay safe. Most importantly, stay deluded. Out.